Hello, welcome everybody. How is everybody doing today? It is a great day. Today is Wednesday, and we're here live and we're getting ready to bring everybody on to our show Across the Wave. Welcome, Alice Studios.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome in, Rihanna. Welcome in, Mike. And Cruising with Keith. Here's all of us all coming together for your show Across the Waves here on a Wednesday. So, how's everybody doing today? Everybody having a great time?
Yeah,
Yeah,
doing well.
definitely.
I know, right? We're all here together again. Ain't it crazy how a week, flies by so quickly?
Oh, it goes by like that. Especially in the winter time. I feel like the winter, like the fall and the winter, the time goes quick of the weeks.
I know, it's just
I,
been crazy. It's like it just flew by. So we're gonna go ahead and say hello to everybody that's on the chat right now. First up in the chat, Eddie Lugo Studios. Welcome in, Eddie. Mike and Rihanna are here, traveling with Tinkerbell. Alice Lugo Studio, cruising with Keith. Danny D. Hey, beautiful Danny, how are you? Journeys with June and Brady. Welcome in. A Muncie channel. Welcome back. Midlife Travel. Welcome in. Cruising is fun. Hello, Jeremy and Cheryl. How are you guys? Welcome in, Nancy and Steve and Tina Jewel. Hello, everybody. Hopefully, everybody's having a great day so far today. We're having a great day over here in our Cross the Wave. I do apologize for the little bit of the delay, but we were getting everything situated. So now we're good. Hey, Scott, the mustard roll, all the way from Cozumel, Mexico. He might be, well, he already left Cozumel at this point in time.
oh,
But welcome back. Just sat down to dinner at Hooked, but I'll catch the replay. Thanks for showing up. We appreciate you
thank
being
you.
here. Welcome in, Josephine. Welcome in, DJ, family and friends and travel. So hopefully everybody's having a great Wednesday. Thank you so much for showing up to the show. So let's get this show started on the road. So just to give you a little bit about us, my name is Jackie. I also go by Tinkerbell. I am your host for tonight. I am the person that does the history of Across the Waves. Then we have Miss Alice Lugo Studio. She's the person that takes you around the ports and shows you all the stuff that is to see around the ports. Then we have Mike and Rihanna, that they're the people who takes you on excursions. They're going to show you all the excursions around those ports. And not the last guy of the day. He is our news person, the captain, cruising with Keith. He's our person that comes in with all the news. And then when we're all done presenting all the information, today our show is all about Bermuda. Then we're going to start any questions and answer, and then we'll take it from there with everybody. We'll bring everybody, the community along. And if you guys have questions or anything like that, we'll answer all of those questions for you. So in the meantime, let's get to it. All right. So today, guys, we're going to be talking about the port of Bermuda. We're going to talk about the history of this port. And as I was doing some research about Bermuda, Bermuda is a beautiful place if you've never been. It's one of those places where you truly need to at least go at least once, maybe twice. If you do go by cruise ship, try to get one of those cruise ships that stay maybe 2 to 3 days. If you decide to go by plane, well, that's even better because you have more time to enjoy Bermuda. Bermuda is not a big area I think it's like about 43 miles long. So it's not like a huge area to go over, but it's very pretty. If you've never been, it's very pretty. It's very clean. It's a little bit on the expense. So with that being said, let's find out how Bermuda started. Bermuda was first documented by the Europeans in 1503 by a Spanish explorer, Juan de Bermudez. In 1609, the English Virginia Company, which had established Jamestown in Virginia 2 years early. Permanently, Bermuda settled in the aftermath of hurricane when the crew and passengers of a sea venture steered the ship into the surrounding reef to prevent it from sinking, then landed ashore. Bermuda's first capital, San George, was established in 1612. The Virginia Company administered the island as an extension of Virginia until 1614. Its spinoff, the Summer Isle Company, took over 1615 and managed the island until 1684, when the company chartered the Revolt of Bermuda became an English crown colony. Following the 1707 unification of the parliaments of Scotland and England, which created the Kingdom of Great Britain, the islands of Bermuda became a British crown colony. When the Newfoundland joined Canada in 1949, Bermuda became the oldest remaining British colony. It was been the most populous remaining dependent territory since the return of Hong Kong to China in 1997. Bermuda became known as a British Overseas Territory in 2002, and as a result of that, the British Overseas Territory Act in 2002. Just to give you a little bit more information about Bermuda, give me one sec. Let's see. The salt trade, this was in the 18th centuries. Bermuda had the salt trade and Turks Island. Bermudans were raking salt in the Caribbean since 1630 as essential ingredient for making cheese, butter, and preserving meats and fish. Rakers will channel seawaters in salt pans for evaporation. Salt Cays and Grand Turk Islands became salt colonies since 1680s. According to Jarvis, the small, hot, dry, and barren islands were perfect for salt production since the limestone. Absence of fresh waters and limited rainfall combined to make the soil unfertile. Yet average temperatures in the 80s Fahrenheit and the eastern trade with facility evaporations of seawaters into a saturated brine for salt crystallized. Natural ponds were augmented and the causeway salt originating from the providence of cherished for the brilliant color, purity, and versatility, according to Jarvis in 1708. So not only in 18th century, they had the salt trade with Turks and Caicos, but also they have also the shipbuilding and maritime economy. If you guys ever visited the port of Bermuda, when you dock there, you're going to see a lot of areas where they do a lot of shipbuilding and things like that on the port. With the royal administration commencing under Charles II in 1683, at the end of the company control of 1684, the islands was able to change the basic of the economic from tobacco to the maritime enterprises. The maritime economy included a shipbuilding, wrecking, whaling, and piloting of fishing in local waters. The population at that time consisted of 5,889 whites and 1,737 slaves, while tobacco ceased to be the commercial crop by 1710. They also had in Bermuda, they had what is called the Bermuda and American War of Independence. So on the eve of the American independence, Bermuda faced a competition with the maritime economy. Bermudans, immigrants to the Virginia helped to expand the growth of the merchant fleet, enabling to exceed Bermuda by 1762. By the 1770, Virginia was launching more vessels than Bermuda, only able to grow enough food to feed the population of 11,000. A few months out of the year. So they went to a little bit of a struggle there during that time. In the 19th century, the naval and military base was also there. They were located and founded in 1790, was the Royal Navy of Hamilton. during that time. And for those of you that don't know, in the 20th century, the tourism in Bermuda was first developed by the Victorian times, catering a wealthy elite seeking to escape North America winters. May also came hopping to find young aristocrats among the officers of the garrison and naval base to whom they might marry their daughters. The locals were quickly to exploit this and organized many dances and gatherings during this season to which military and naval officers were giving a blanket invitation. And then they had the World War. Right after that, in 1939, the Royal Canadian Navy worked in the art in establishing an anti-submarine training program during that time. And for those of you that don't know, Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip visited Bermuda in 1953, and they actually own a home which is still there till today. And this is the information about the history of Bermuda. So now I'm going to pass it over to Miss Alice Lugo Studio. She's going to be bringing you information about the port. Give me 1 second.
How are you? Hi, everybody. It's Alice Lugo Studios in the house. So I've been to Bermuda. I'd like to know if you could put in the chat if you've ever been to Bermuda or if you plan to visit Bermuda. It's a beautiful place. And thank you, Jackie, for sharing the history of it. So there's 3 different ports in Bermuda, and I'm going to be talking more about the Navy Naval Dockyard, King's Wharf cruise port. It's the most popular one, but there is also one in Hamilton, and there's one in St. George, and those are 3 different parishes in Bermuda. So, Jackie, if you could put up the first picture of the dockyard. I think we lost her. Anyway, when you arrive at the port, there's 2 piers at the port, and they're right next to each other. So you'll be, back to back in the ports, and then you just come out to the same area, and you walk down the port, and you'll see a visitor center at the port, and you can purchase. This is the visitor center. You can get pamphlets on Bermuda. There's also the website there if you plan on going. You could go to bermuda.com and get a whole lot of information. And there's other websites out there as well that have very good information. And the visitor center, you could purchase ferry tickets or tokens. They sell books of tickets, which are 15 tickets, and they're good for all zones. There's different zones depending on the distance that you might take on a bus. Public transportation is awesome. There's 2 buses that you can get at the dockyard, and if you don't have tokens or the ticket, you will have to pay more money to go on the buses or the ferry. And the tickets and tokens are interchangeable, so you could use it on the bus or you could use it on the ferry. When you take a bus to the different areas, you can transfer from one bus to the other. But if you're taking a ferry, you cannot transfer from the ferry to a bus. So here's the current schedule, and it tells you how much it is as well, or the times, and be sure to look at that before you take your trip there. And it is accessible for you to go on a ferry with a walker or a wheelchair, but unfortunately, The rest of the island and buses are not very accessible for those with walking mobility issues. So I have researched because, as most of you know, my husband does use a walker, and it is a foldable one. So he may or may not be able to go on a bus, but there is like one bus on, I think, on each route that you can take on your equipment, but you have to know what that schedule is. So if you are dependent on a walker or a scooter, wheelchair, you would want to check ahead with Bermuda, call them up, and find out what time is the bus that allows these items to go on the bus. Okay. Within the port, there is a lot of things to do. And I know Mike and Rihanna, they're going to talk about excursions. And I'm just going to talk about the things that you can do within the port. So one of the things is right there in the port. We have the National Museum of Bermuda. And you could get to know the island's legendary maritime history at the National Museum, which houses cannons and shipwreck artifacts, small watercraft and artwork and buildings of the former Keep Fort. And don't miss the dramatic mural depicting 4 centuries of Bermuda history by local artist Graham Foster, or the outdoor playground where kids can zip down a lighthouse slide or crawl through a jumbo L model. And you could explore more than 500 years of Bermuda's history. The admission price is $15 for adults. Seniors are $12, and children under 16 are free. And they are open Sunday to Saturday from 9:30 to 5 p.m. And the last admission is at 4 p.m. So that's just a little bit of a walk from the port, but it's all within that area. The next thing that they have is a shops and crafts market, and local makers show and sell candles and metalwork, soap and foodstuffs at the Bermuda Craft Market. And 2 working studios also operate in historic buildings in the Dockyard Glassworks, where they feature glass blowing and flame throwing demos. And they have really nice ornaments for Christmas. And then there's Bermuda Clay Works, which provides workspace and a shop for locally made pottery and ceramics. And nearby, there is the craft market itself, and there is Bermuda made wares from more than 60 local artists at the island's largest craft marketplace. It's located right there in Royal Naval Dockyard. So they're open every single day, and their hours vary, but pretty much Monday through Thursday, they're open from 9 to 6 p.m. and Friday from 9 to 5, Saturday 9 to 6, and Sunday is 10 to 6. So then we have the clock tower. Now this clock tower they have twin clocks, and they rise 100 feet overhead. One displays the current time, while the other tells the day's high tide. And the shopping center is a bustling mix of boutiques, department stores, and restaurants built into a former Royal Navy warehouse from 1856. And the Clock Tower Mall is the best place on the West End to shop for souvenirs, jewelry, and locally made crafts, and is located just a short walk from the cruise terminal at King's Wharf. And that is also open from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Then we have a Bermuda Art Center at the dockyard, and you can meet local artists and see their work or join a workshop at the Bermuda Art Center. And this work in art gallery is a nonprofit charity established in 1984 to support local artists. And there are 4 resident artists on hand to meet with visitors while working on their art. So you could actually see them as they are doing what they do. And you can also peruse prints and locally made jewelry, ceramics, and other crafts. And the workshops are available for a variety of methods, from palette knife painting to silk screen printing. The admission price is free, and their hours are Sunday to Saturday, 10 to 5. So like Tinkerbell said, there's a lot of things that are expensive. You know, Bermuda is an expensive island, but there are some things that are free. So that's good. And they also have a dolphin quest. Now, when I went there in 2010, I went with my 4 sisters, and we walked around the whole naval dockyard. They did not have dolphin. They might have had dolphin quests, but yeah, I think they did have the dolphin quest. We did not do it though, and so it's accessible. If you come into Hamilton or St. George, you can take the ferries from those parishes and come into the dockyard. But if you, of course, are cruising into the dockyard, it's just a short little walk away, and you can touch or swim with the dolphins while learning about marine life conversations, and you can watch the lively mammals both in their enclosure within the National Museum of Bermuda or in a large, innovative sanctuary outside the dockyard walls. And then we have Snorkel Beach. And this is what was not there when I went with my sisters in 2010. So I'm looking forward to seeing this. And it's white sand. It doesn't have the pink sand that's in other areas. This is shallow waters, and equipment rental are available at Snorkel Park. And you can rent the kayaks and pedal boats and jet skis, or you could just kick back and enjoy the site. There is a cafe on site. And spend a relaxing day swimming and snorkeling in the crystal clear lagoon at Snorkel Park Beach. The historic Keep Fort presides over one end of the beach. Dip into the shadows, reefs, and you'll find sunken cannons and a variety of colorful fish. The Snorkel Park Beach has everything you need for the day, from a beach bar and restaurants to bathrooms, lockers, and water sport rentals. It's open every day, and Sundays often features live music and family-friendly events, and a few evenings a week. Snorkel Park transforms into a nightclub called Club Aqua, with drinks and dancing for the 18 and up crowd. Now, the admission price, it varies by event, so I don't have that for you. But I'm looking forward to going to that. I know one time when I did some research a while back, I think it was like $5 to get into Snorkel Park Beach. So if you don't want to really go too far, maybe you're only in for the one day and a half a day the next day, and so you want to stay close to the port, there's plenty of stuff to do in the port. And then if you are using a walker or a wheelchair or a scooter, you don't have to worry about anything because everything is all right there. But if you do want to travel out, there are plenty of free beaches that are available, although you do usually have to pay to rent the chairs or any of the other equipment that they might have available, umbrellas and things like that. But it's well worth it. And I'm sure that either Mike or Rihanna will speak on one of the famous beaches, which is Horseshoe Bay. And I've been there, and and have the pink sand and, really nice restrooms and place to get food to eat and all that stuff. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. And now we're going to pass you on to Mike.
What's up, everyone? So we're going to talk to you guys about some shore excursions. The first one we're going to talk about is Crystal and Fantasy Caves. These are among the most spectacular natural scenes you'll ever see experience. They're located near Hamilton Parish. You can combine both the caves and see them at the same time, on the same day, pardon me. Inside the caves, there are stalactites and stigmates that form some of the most peculiar shapes. These caves form around the complex named the Cow Lake, which is the most crystal clear lake you will ever see. As you walk along the marked paths, you will notice chandelier-like formations along the walls that seem like they still waterfalls. This is a great family excursion, and it is open 9 to 5 every day. And we're actually going to show you a video right now of what it's like in these caves and the aquarium and the zoo around there.
Coming to the Bermuda Aquarium Museum and Zoo allows you to see everything about the natural history of Bermuda. You'll be able to come into the aquarium and see everything that you normally see sort of out snorkeling or diving on Bermuda's beautiful reefs. You see some of these most beautiful creatures just swimming through the tank there. Coming to the Bermuda Aquarium Museum is great for all ages. It's something the whole family will enjoy. It really gives you a snapshot of what Bermuda is about, and it's something that every visitor, I think, should see. Once you've gone through our facility, enjoyed everything we've had to offer, the next thing is just to head on over to the Crystal Caves.
When you come to these caves, you will see exquisite formations, renowned all over the world. It's an adventure, absolute adventure. You're in Wonderland. Crystal Caves just awash in brilliantly white crystals. The other cave, Fantasy, you'll see chandeliers like I've never seen anywhere else in the world. Best described by one word: wonderment. It's something that the visitor coming to Bermuda must not miss.
Thank you. So now the next one we're going to talk about is whale watching. Whale watching in Bermuda is unlike whale watching you ever see, ever anywhere else. There's plenty of sea life experiences. They always put on a show. If you're visiting between March and April, that's the best time to go because it's feeding time for them right there. And in the local waters, you can book these tours through tourism booths or with guides themselves, or you can also book through the cruise line themselves. Next, we're going to talk about Bermuda Botanic Gardens. These botanic gardens are located in the Pegant Parish. If you are a nature lover, you'll surely enjoy this location. Includes over 35 acres of perfectly manicured gardens full of the rare and exotic plants. This garden was established in 1898 and has been growing in size ever since, with trees, flowers, shrubs from around the world. You can see exotic fruit trees, different trees, hibiscus, banyan trees, orchids, and more. As you walk along the paths, take a seat at one of the many beaches and listen to the local tropical birds. While you're there, you can also check out the Kingdom House, which is the home of the Bermuda's premier. The next one we're going to talk about is the Bermuda Reef Explorer. If you're not really into snorkeling or deep water swimming, this is not for you. Or this is for you, pardon me. This is a double-leveled glass-bottom boat that was custom designed to give you an experience like you are swimming. You can disembark to go snorkeling to get closer look at the thousands of tropical fish surrounding the reefs. You'll also find sea turtles, colorful royal coral fish or reefs, and an 18th century shipwreck. And we're going to show you a video on that as well.
If you're coming to Bermuda, it is a must to get in our water. Our water is crystal clear and it has the healthiest reef system in the world. This excursion is actually designed for everybody that wants to get in our waters and experience swimming in the Bermuda Triangle. We take about a 45-minute boat ride, see the beautiful panoramic views of the island as we're cruising. Once we get to our destination, we give you guys a good lesson on how to snorkel. We tell you a little bit about the wrecks, a little bit about the fish and the coral, and then we get you in the water. The quality of snorkeling out there is absolutely phenomenal. The fish will be right up in your face. Not only that, but you get the coral reef, and on top of that, you get the shipwrecks as well, which are absolutely amazing. The wreck itself is in 30 feet of water. If you have the skills, you can free dive right down to the bottom, swim right through the actual shipwreck. This will be one of the best experiences you've had with a snorkel in your mouth. For those adventure seekers, it's definitely one of those things that's a must-do while you're here in Bermuda.
So I'm going to pass it on to Rihanna for the rest of it.
Well, thank you, Mike. I'm going to first talk about Jobson's Cove. So Jobson's Cove is more than just a beach. It is a small cove with pink sand and lots of sea life, and a perfect place to suntan for the day. You can find it in the south coast near Bermuda's Warwick Parish by Dockyard and Hamilton. Because of the sheltered area of this beach, it makes for one of the best things to do in Bermuda with the kids. The water is calm, and there's plenty of places with shade nearby, so you're not in the sun all day. Now, just as Alice touched on before, I'm going to go into a little bit of an excursion that you can do for the historic Georgetown. Bermuda is home to a very rich history with deep colonial heritage and stunning colonial architecture. St. George is also one of the founding cities in North America and has much to see and explore. If you are visiting during peak tourism months, you will get to meet and greet historical actors who keep their persona as they walk through the streets entertaining the guests. This location was also recently declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Now on to the aquarium. Sorry about that. On to the aquarium, museum, and zoo. They were established since 1926, which makes it one of the oldest of its kind in the world. No matter your age or interest, there is something for everyone here. Some things to do include animal feedings, arts and crafts, delicious restaurants, guided snorkeling tours, animal story time, and also many educational moments. This location has over 200 species of exotic tropical fish and other sea life. After the aquarium, make sure you stop over and visit the National Museum of Bermuda for an educational experience and learn about mankind's impact on the ecosystem of Bermuda. And with that concludes the excursions, and we're going to send it over to Keith with the news.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the news. Right? Thank you. I love the intro. So there is a hurricane right now, Hurricane Tammy, which is a Category 1, And so this is the path of the hurricane, as you see. So by Saturday, Sunday is supposed to hit it, but it's not going to be a big major hurricane. But it's still a Category 1 hurricane. But by the time it hits Bermuda, based on the weather, it should be a tropical storm right now by then, right? So it's 75 miles per hour. And at that time, it looked at the bottom on Tuesday, it was moving northeast. But they say by the time it gets closer to Bermuda, it's actually starting to go northwest. So that's one of the major news that they have down there. The current cruise ships they have down there at the moment is the Disney Dream. And the Disney Dream just left at 4:15 today from Heritage Wharf. And the NCL Escape just arrived 8 o'clock this morning and is leaving at 3 p.m. on Friday. And the Carnival Valencia arrived at 4:30 today, and that one is leaving tomorrow at 4 o'clock. And due to Hurricane Tammy, the Anthem of the Seas has canceled its port, which is supposed to be Friday till Saturday. And the Visionary of the Seas, which is supposed to be also going there this weekend, they have not canceled that one, but I do see that one probably getting canceled. So if you do have that cruise, be alert, that one may be canceled. The current weather down there is 72 degrees. The gas prices are very expensive. $8.81 compared to where I live is like $3.70, I think, over here in New York. The minimum wage compared to where we had last week, the minimum wage here is actually $16.40. So it's actually a pretty high minimum wage, and the dollar is equal to the American dollar. So there ain't no difference. So they're equal value. So that's one thing that you can see. So where we at? So there was actually a big police raid down there. They raided a cargo ship because obviously they thought the cargo ship had some illegal stuff on there. They brought the dogs on there. They had scuba divers going underneath, checking the hull, and they came up empty. So those are things that the police will do down there. Is obviously now we know they go and check the cargo ships. So obviously I'm not going on any cargo ships because I'll be going on the cruise ships. So I'm nothing to worry about with that one. So this year there were 224 cruise visits, and 13%, which is 29 of them, were canceled this year due to bad weather, compared to only 14 last year. So that's a big number. But as you can see, there's been a lot of hurricanes this year. So with all the hurricanes going on this year, you see a lot of cancellations, and if you've never been on a cruise that's canceled, when something like that does happen, a lot of times they go to another port, but it's really tough for Bermuda to go to another port because, first of all, if you leave from America, right, you need to go to an international port before you come back. Otherwise, the cruise will be canceled. So for example, if it's a 10-day cruise, yeah, they could go to like the Bahamas and come back, right? But if it's only like a 4 or 5 day cruise, a cruise to Bermuda would be canceled, or it will be redirected to Canada and come back. So that's what probably would happen depending on the port that it leaves from, right? So there's actually construction about to start actually at the port in King's Wharf over there, right? So the guest arrests are to use caution at the naval dockyard as the north arm erodes roughly about. The stone over there is like 200 stones, and they say they're going to have to do some construction to restore all the stone over there. And they say that's going to take about a few months over there. Right? And I think that's, yeah, it's all news, but I'm going to give you guys some tips that I have on my own. So places that I like to go to when I'm in Bermuda, right? So because I love Bermuda. Bermuda is one of my favorite places. So this is actually the museum. Right, I'll go through the pictures. That's one of the beaches. That's the Crystal Caves, which I've been to. That's the ferry, which I took to St. George's. So these are some pictures that I put up here for everybody. So one of the places I love to go to eat, but if you are on a short cruise, it's too far to go to, in my opinion, because you're only there like maybe like 6-7 hours. And you know how it is. You get off you get off the ship an hour before, and you get back on an hour. So really, if you're there for 6 hours, you're only there really for like 4 hours. So it's not enough time to go do something and then go. So I love the Switzerland, but it's a far bus ride. The bus ride's about like an hour, but you got to take 2 buses, or you could take a ferry to a bus, which can cut your time, right? So that's one of the things I love to do, is go to Switzerland, because it's right by the caves, and the caves, whenever I go to the caves, I do it all on my own. I don't go through the cruise. It's just so much quicker. Bermuda is one of those places you can do everything on your own. It's a very safe place. The people are very friendly. No one's going to try to have you there. So to me, it's one of my favorite places. Do try the rum cake when you're down there. And if you, especially like me, I'm very fair skinned. So wear sunscreen down there, because you can get burnt no matter what time of year. I mean, I was there in November. It was 80 degrees, but nice, but I still got burnt down there. So if you're not sure where Bermuda is, it's like online with like North Carolina on the map geographically. And every year there's a holiday called Bermuda Day, right? If you're ever down there, it's usually, this year was at May 24th, but so they do like parades, music, and festivals going on. So it's been going on since like 1979. And everybody, thank you for the news. I'm gonna pass on to Tinkerbell. And any questions you want to ask, go ahead and feel free.
Well, thank you so much, everybody, for all the information. Oh my God, we had a lot of information today. That is awesome. I learned a whole lot today. So we are open for any questions. I've been reading the chat while everybody was talking. There's like, for those of you that don't know, there's Horseshoe Bay Beach over there, which is one of the top popular beaches to go to. If you're wanting to see that pink sand, that's the place to go. I know that a lot of us, except for Mike and Rihanna, I know that Keith and Alice and I have been to Bermuda. Just ask any questions. Yeah. It's amazing.
I've been there 3 times. No, I mean, especially if you're leaving from New York. Like, I've been there on the 7-day cruises twice, right? And like I think it was a 4 or 5 day cruise, right? The 4 or 5 day, it was like, the one thing I love about Bermuda, like if you like going to, like if you're afraid to go on a cruise, but you like to go to like these resorts, to me, it's like a resort and a cruise all in one, because you're going to the port on a week cruise, and you're there for about 50 hours. So you're there for 2.5 days. You could come and go. It could be 2, 3 in the morning. You could get off the ship. It's up to you, and it's a very safe place. You could walk down the street, and I never felt that someone's going to try to rob me. Not one time down there. Like, I've been to ports where, like I don't like to go to ports where they try to hack you, because I work in Manhattan. I deal with it every day. So when you deal with it every day, when you go on vacation, you try to get away from that.
Yeah, that is true. I do have a question for you, Keith, and for Alice.
Yeah.
The times that you've been in Bermuda, mind you, when I went to Bermuda, I left out of the port of Port Canaveral. Okay. And we actually did the triangle. Because we left from Port Canaveral to San Juan to Bermuda. So we did the Bermuda Triangle, which it was really cool. I did it on the Carnival Magic in 2018. I will never forget. So let me ask you guys, when you guys go to Bermuda, do you guys have done the triangle, or does it go just from New York to Bermuda?
From New Jersey to Bermuda.
So I did from New York to Bermuda. My first cruise was probably a bad one, is because I was in the hurricane. So we had to leave like a day early. When Hurricane Irene hit New York, that was like the first big hurricane that hit up here. I was in Bermuda at the time, and I was on the NCL Gem, and we left a day early to try to get back. And it was so bad that you couldn't even open your balcony door. That's how strong the winds were. And that's my first cruise I ever went on, and I went back, right?
But it's really cool. You know what we forgot to bring the people, and I just thought about it, the Twizzy. We forgot to bring the picture of the Twizzy. So I'm gonna find one.
Oh, I have one if you want. I just didn't have the picture. but I'll show it to you.
Okay.
All right, put me up big screen and I'll show
And
it up.
and I know that hold on, wait, hold on, Miss Alice.
They
There
have
you
4 different cars.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
these are 2 of them. And then these are the other. So the swizzle is right there.
That
I
is
have
correct.
prices there too, but anyway, the first one is called the Bermuda 400. It's $160 per day, and it's 90 kilometer range, and it has room for luggage for 2. And they all have 110 volt and 220 volt charging. The second one, which is this max one here, it's 175 per day, and the range is 120 kilometers, and it has room for 4 carry-on bags. The swizzle down on the bottom here is 185 per day, and it has 120 kilometer range and luggage for 2. And then the last one on this side here, Hirschen, and that one is 195 a day, and it has a range of 280 kilometer range and luggage for 2. The thing is, though, this is the sad part, is it does not service the dockyard. So it's out of Hamilton, and you don't need a license to drive it. So, I mean, you can schedule it and take a ferry to Hamilton and then try to get to where you need to go to get the rental car. But, you know, that's what it is. And it includes the insurance. Collision insurance is $15 a day, and it limits the renter's liability to any amounts up to $3,000, and third-party cover $5 a day. So that's included in the prices that are currently on the website.
Okay.
You don't need a Bermuda license, but you do need to have, regular state license to drive it. And yeah,
All
the
right. So
battery
I did.
lasts, depending on which one, 50 to 180 miles per charge. So they hope to have locations out of St. George in late 2023, but they have not said anything about the dockyard yet.
I thought I saw.
Okay. I did find a Twizy, so I'm going to bring it to you guys. It is the charge for this Twizy. It is $7.95 to rent in Bermuda. You can
Okay.
rent these at the naval, at the actual port, and this is what it looks like
Okay. At the dockyard?
at the dockyard.
Okay.
And there's 7, according to the information that I see on carsrental.com, is $7.95, 95 cents for the Twizy car rental in Bermuda. You have to try to do a reservation ahead of time because there's a lot of people that actually rents them from the naval port.
Yeah. Well, that's good to know.
And you can fit 2 people.
Yeah.
You have them that it's all closed in, and some of them have AC, and then you have them that they're open, and then you have the fresh AC of Bermuda coming into your Twizy.
Very good.
So that's some good information. So for those of you that have never been to Bermuda, they do have like miniature cars, like what Alice was showing, and it's so cute how you see them all over the streets. They have little Hummers, little Jeeps, and they're really cute. You see them all over the place, so it's really, really cute.
And you have to
Especially,
remember
like- Go
they
ahead.
drive on the opposite side of the road from us.
Yeah. Well, they like to call that the right side of the road. I remember I was on. Guy goes over here. We drive on the right side of the road, not meaning right, but as in
Yeah.
the right side. You know.
I know, it's crazy. But the good thing is, like, if you were to purchase an excursion, if you go online, you purchase an excursion, you're paying what, $70 probably to take you to Horseshoe Bay Beach. And then you rent one of these for 2 days or 3, however long you're going to be there. and then you have a car to take you everywhere, because you're not going to get lost, because the island is so small that you're not going to, it's not like if you're going to be driving for days, you're not going to get lost. So that's one of the good things about Bermuda.
Mm-hmm. And the other thing, you gotta watch out. The roads are very narrow, so you got like a lot of, you're not gonna be going fast. I mean, the one thing you won't see out there, you're not gonna see pickup trucks out there. It's actually illegal to have a pickup truck out there. I mean, another thing is like, I know, I actually enjoyed it. Like when I took the ferry from the dockyard to St. George's, yes, it was a 45-minute ride because I didn't think it would be that far, but it was really enjoyable where you got to see like the whole island from the ferry.
Right.
And the ferry don't even cost that much, so you could literally just go on there. You get a nice view from the outside and go back.
Yeah, there's also that area where you can do the smallest bridge, which is like really tiny bridge that you cross over, which is the smallest bridge. Also in Bermuda, you also have the Queen's View area, which is right by the lighthouse. Across from it, the Queen Elizabeth, when she used to visit Bermuda, she would cross that street, and there's an area where she was standing. You can see all of Bermuda on the other side. So it's very pretty. It's a very nice, pretty scene to look at. It's very beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, I don't know if you guys been to downtown Bermuda, where they have
Hamilton?
on Hamilton, yeah, where they have like the Englishmen that they're dressed like back in the time, and you go into the church and they have the book that you can sign for Queen Elizabeth. They have a whole bunch of pictures of them there.
I have not.
No, I haven't been there. The one thing I noticed that was weird down there, like I was right there, and I see a guy walking down the block, like he's coming home from work, but he's in a suit. But the suit, it's like a suit with like shorts. So it's suit pants, but it's like short suit pants. It was the first time I ever seen it. I was like, that was weird, and also the other thing in Bermuda, I do all these excursions on my own out there because it's just, to me, it's so much quicker, so much easier, especially with the buses and all that, where I could just do it myself. And plus it's safe, so you don't have to, like I said before, you don't have to worry about anyone bothering you, and there's a lot of shops out there. It's just like you said, a lot of things are expensive. Like there's a lot of stuff out there. It's even like more expensive than going to Manhattan.
Yeah, that is true. But there's like, I think the like I was telling everybody last week when we were talking about the KFC, that they have that, like the chicken there, like an 8-piece bucket of chicken is like $54. I was like, it just blew my mind.
Yeah.
It was crazy. A soda, I think we paid like, it was like at that time we paid like $5 for a soda. And chips were like about $4, like because the cost of living is so high.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so expensive. I mean, that's probably why, like, the minimum wage is like 16. I think the minimum wage is more than is New York, or almost the same amount.
Yeah. But one of the good things about Bermuda is that they don't just allow anybody from anywhere to come buy a house there.
No.
That's one of the good things. You got to have some establishment in Bermuda for a while before you even are allowed to buy a house. And it's not like if you can buy a house and then rent it, because they don't allow that either. It's really cool.
Yeah.
So anybody has, let me see, items are imported. Yep, all items are imported into Bermuda.
Yeah, everything's imported there. They do have like some like alcohol drinks. Like I actually found a liquor store, so I went in there one time to go like buy like the local stuff. Obviously, when you go back on the cruise ship, they take it, they give it back to you at the end of the cruise. So, I mean, if you like drinks, if you like the rum swizzle, you gotta go to the Swizzle Inn. It's really good, and even the food at the Swizzle Inn is really good too.
Yeah.
But it's really nice. I'm just looking at some of my pictures because I wanted to show you guys. This is one of the places. It's called the Town Hall. This is one of the places where the Queen Elizabeth goes to, And if you go in there, you're able to sign her book and all of that. So it's really cool. So for
Mm.
those of you guys that are looking into one day, visiting Bermuda, I suggest you do it and you go and have like
Yeah.
that enjoyment because it's really pretty.
Yeah, that's good.
Here's
I went to
another.
I
Cool.
went to the museum this year, which was my first time there. But I vlogged in the pouring rain. I'm not even kidding. Both cruises this year, I'm vlogging outside at both times. It starts to downpour. There's nothing I can do. I was like, I'm
Yeah.
still. I have to get the film. I got to get all the video. I was so.
Yeah, I'll
But
be honest. I can't wait to one day go back to Bermuda.
yeah.
It's a beautiful place to go. Like the people are really nice too there.
Yeah. No, I would definitely go back there. Me and my wife, with the being, well, not to go. We were going to take the NCL Joy to Bermuda or the Horizon to the AB, Amber Cove, and La Romana. I chose that one because I've never been there before. I've been to Bermuda already 3 times, and I just did. I just came from Bermuda, so I need different video content on my channel.
Right.
Yeah, well, we have a cruise scheduled for June of 2024 to Bermuda out of New Jersey, and
Okay.
it's like 2.5 days, let's just say, in
Yeah.
Bermuda, 2
Wow.
overnights,
That's
and it's on the Celebrity Eclipse, June 2nd till the 9th, I guess, Sunday to Sunday.
that is
So
awesome.
Eddie
Yeah.
hasn't been there yet, so he's looking forward to it.
Oh.
I'm gonna have to look into the Twizzy
Yeah.
and see.
It's gonna
Oh,
be a
oh,
good
yeah.
treat.
Oh yeah, another thing I forgot to tell people is like if anyone goes into the caves and it's
Yeah.
raining, the ground walking in there gets very oily. So I see when I went there last time and it was raining and I went to the caves and people started falling because the moisture makes the ground like get very oily and people start falling.
Mm.
Oh wow.
There's a
So-
lot of
so-
steps.
That's good to know.
So that's something you have to pay attention to. And plus, the handrails. I mean, the last time I went to Bermuda, to the caves, the handrails were like this PVC
Like metal.
pipe. It wasn't actual regular handrails.
Right.
Yeah.
That's actually good to know information like that.
Yeah,
It's kind of cool because when you sit with different people that've been to the same place, everybody goes different places, so you kind of like learn new things. So I'm
Yeah.
learning new things today, so that's awesome.
yeah. And another thing that they do down there, if you do the tour down there, they will pull the plug, and it gets so dark down there. You can go like this. I can't even see my hand. I was like, oh my god. And then they start telling the story how there were 2 boys. This is how they found the cave. There were 2 boys with the soccer ball. They went down there.
Right. That's awesome. That's like really cool, to be honest with you. It's really awesome.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to going back and
Yeah, I
showing
would-
Eddie.
Yeah, I bet.
Oh,
That's
definitely,
really
yeah.
cool. That's really cool to know. Just to give you guys some heads up because we're almost at our time is almost to our end. We will not be here next Wednesday. Reason being is because I and Miss Alice Lugo Studio will be on a cruise ship. So we are going to be coming back on November 8th. And on November 8th, we are going to be talking about the port of Vancouver. So I know Mike and Rihanna are excited about that because that's all about our Canadian friends. Woo! Can't wait. So I'm going to be learning a lot. I've never been to Canada. So I'm going to be learning a lot about the history of Vancouver. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you so much, guys, for coming in today. I appreciate everybody that came and showed their love to across the waves. Hopefully, you guys are enjoying this show. It's a lot of fun for us to bring it to you guys. So I'm hoping that you guys are enjoying it. Anything else you guys want to say before we say our goodbyes?
I mean, Any other places that I haven't been to? I've been there that I liked. I mean, the malls there. The food, everything, people. I don't think there's anything else.
All right.
You
So I
know?
guess we could close the chapter on Bermuda today, and then not next week, but the following November 8th, we'll get to travel to Vancouver. Woo! We get to be with our Canadian friends, and we get to know all about Canada. So that's going to be all
Yes.
exciting and fun. So thank you guys all for coming. Thank you, Keith, Miss Alice, Mike, and Rihanna for being here on the show today. We all love you to the moon and back. I see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Bye.
Safe travels, everybody.
Bye-bye. Thanks,
Bye.
guys. Safe travels, Miss Alice.
Thank you. Same to you.
Bye-bye.